All right, everybody. Yes, that was the Rob Tui theme by Leroon, and it is a cheer bit war in the stream right now. Holy God! Current bit boss is Fantasy Grounds College out of the 15 bit bosses that we had in the last 2 minutes. So guys, welcome to Sunday night. I'm going to switch over the screen so you can see what we see here on our screen. No, not that. This. And this is episode 31 of the Sunday Night Show. Before I get started, I will do the disclaimer, and then I will introduce everybody. All Things Fantasy Grounds Talk Show, of course, is meant to teach and help, but you guys have to remember when you watch this that the opinions of the four of us on the show are not that of Smiteworks USA LLC or Fantasy Grounds. It's just us. So welcome to one of my co-hosts, Leroon. How are you, sir?
I'm doing okay. Just kind of wrapping up my move. Today I had to hang the old AC.
Hanging the AC. It sounds like a sex move, but I don't know. I think you might just mean regular, no euphemisms implied. Furied Fate, how are you, ma'am?
I'm good. I'm ignoring the barbecue party that's going outside of this little room I'm in.
I don't know. Maybe get a sandwich and come back. We're okay.
Cheer bits. Oh, no, yeah, I totally did that
stream.
first.
Thanks for the cheer bits.
My husband decided to have friends over. They're barbecuing, fajitas, corn,
They didn't invite you?
He did it without me, without my permission. So I'm like, I don't want to deal with people.
Good.
Yeah.
I'd rather be here with you guys.
Yay! And McClancy just cheer bitted again, $9.99. Cheer bits. So there's a couple questions in chat already. We'll get to those in a second. But first, we want to introduce our special guest today, EP Texas Breuer. How are you today, sir?
I am good. Thank you.
Awesome. Glad to have you here. So we're going to be talking about tables. I'm going to turn you up a little bit. You're kind of soft. We'll put you up a little bit. We're going to be talking about tables today. Aqua wants to know, does it smell good? And I'm assuming he means furied for that question.
Yeah, it actually smells pretty good. It has that nice, like, smoky smell to it. So
yeah,
it's going to, like, stick with the house for the next, like, 3 days.
Drake PD wanted to know, I'm assuming from Leroon, were there straps involved with the AC hanging? Leroon has passed out. He's unable to answer.
What?
I don't know. He's asking if there were straps involved.
Yes.
Yes. Okay, good.
And wood.
And wood. I see what you did there.
And a gag ball, according to Marbania.
Right.
Zed's dead. So before we get started, let's introduce. I mean, everybody that watches the show on a regular basis knows who we are, but let's have Breuer introduce himself. So, Breuer, just tell us a little bit about your gaming background, or what, how you use Fantasy Grounds, or you can just pretty much say whatever you want, but let everybody know who you are that hasn't met you before.
Very cool. So yeah, I'm one of the old guys. I've been playing D&D since like 1979.
Whoa, you got me beat. Nice.
We started with the blue box, and played for about 10, 11 years just with the original 3 core books. When all the friends left for college or moved away for work or whatever, I kind of stopped playing until 5th edition came back out. And when 5th edition came out, that's I got a hold of all the old high school buddies and started playing D&D again online using Fantasy Grounds. So everything comes back around, man. Everything comes back around.
That's the epitome of the story that I like to hear, is people getting back into it and getting back together, and then they were able to contact up all their buddies and get online with Fantasy Grounds. I'm almost the same story.
Real quick.
Oh yeah, no, go ahead, Fury.
So you said blue box. I mean, was there a red box too? Is the red box older than the blue box?
Blue box was first, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And then they went to a red box?
Uh-huh.
Okay, sorry, I'm not that old. I just wanted to clarify.
Hey now.
Now, was there a white box?
Well,
like
there wasn't
old one?
But they had the books came when the original books came out in the 74 or whatever. There was 3 books, I think, and they were like 8x5. They were smaller, they weren't as
Yeah,
big as a regular.
pamphlets.
Yeah, pamphlets, and they were only like 20 or 40 pages. I don't know. I never really held any of those in my hand, but I've seen them. I've seen the, like you can go on Wikipedia or whatever and look at it. Breuer, did you ever see those? Oh, did we lose him? What happened?
I don't know.
Oh, sorry about that. No, yeah, I actually had a set of those white boxes back in the day, way back when. But
now did it come in an actual white box? I didn't know that. That's cool.
well, no, they actually came. Well, they came as like little pamphlets, is what they were basically. Yeah. And then TSR sold them as eventually they put them in a white box and sold it as a white box set. So.
Oh yeah, so I don't even know. Let's see.
White box.
We can get the, yeah. See so that's like what the first one looked like, and then I did see an image there. Let me grab that real quick. Boom, right here.
Now, I've actually touched that pamphlet, but I've never really got to look through the whole thing.
Yeah, me too. I guess I did now that I think about it. My friend, there's a guy in town here that I gamed with for a while, and he's about 72 years old. So he had those. God, I don't know why I'm tripping over myself. He GM'd Gary Gygax in a game at Gen Con 3. So
what?
that's
Holy cow.
Yeah. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, so he
and Marbanian says that white box original white box is like $1,300 on eBay right now. So for those of you with the money,
if you want to go get it, yeah. If you don't want to buy the Dragon Heist Platinum thing we were looking at yesterday for $500, you can go buy the white box for $1,300. It's ridiculous. All right, good. So that's nice. So you have me beat. I started in '81, and I played first edition for 6 years. And then I didn't play again until 4th edition, and I was having fun doing that. And then I had my liver transplant and got into 5th edition, and I didn't realize until 5th edition, I didn't realize what a piece of crap 4th edition was, because it's all there was, and I was having fun. But man, 4th edition, I'll never go back. All right, enough about the edition wars.
One other comment real quick is the guy I first played D&D with in 1979, I'm still playing with now in 2018. So
that is awesome, man.
It keeps people together.
Yeah, that's so awesome. I don't play with any of my guys from high school anymore, but I got my new people. I got everybody in the chat with me right now. I have my new group of friends. So Leroon, I'm going to kind of, you made the show notes for today, so I'm going to kind of let you ask, and we'll click on these links, and you can, whatever you want to do, we'll do here.
Okay.
So the first link was the tables wiki for Fantasy Grounds. So and I'll post that in the chat, so if people want to check it out.
Yeah, I guess that's a good starting point if you're not at all, savvy or used to using Fantasy Grounds. I used it occasionally when I first started. Actually, I still refer to it when I get lost. It's one of those things where it's not always cut and dry what exactly you're supposed to do. And there's also a lot of good videos out there. Matter of fact, Rob, I found an old one of yours that showed, it's not that old, it's like a year old, that showed your random monster table generator. So that was kind of cool.
Oh yeah, and I think even on the DMs Guild, if you go to the random monster generator, that video is on the DMs Guild sales page. I think I did that so people would, because I was getting 10 emails a day. How's this work? So I'm like, I'll do a video.
Yeah, actually, I think that's what made me buy some of your stuff back in the day, is by watching some of the little video things that you made, and some of the old tutorials back then with Digital Dave and Zacchaeus. And
yeah, maybe we'll show an example, because that uses nested table that we were talking about before the show. We'll show an example of that.
Okay.
So, but yeah, you guys want to know, like, if you have questions about tables or you're building tables and you want to do like fancy stuff, you can always come here to the wiki, which is on fantasygrounds.com, and go through all the instructions and figure out all the fun stuff tables can do, because they can do way more than you think they can. So that's pretty awesome.
They can get pretty complex. And I think what we'll cover tonight is just, we're going to cover the outputs and, just the different types of tables. So let's do a basic table.
Okay.
And it
Let me
might
let.
be a good idea to do your plugin as well. The extension, excuse me.
Oh, right. Okay. So yeah, I don't want to confuse people, but maybe we should talk about that first.
Because that makes a basic table real easy. So we can do it the long way, and then we could do a short,
Yeah,
shortcut.
okay, that's what we'll do. So there's two. So when we talk about tables, oh, you know what? I need to just close this real quick so we don't get that in the way. Rob Tui, everybody, did you see that? Holy Christ! How many things have I made? I don't know, a million. So if you have tables here and you open now, everybody's going to see this blue arrow here on the table and be like, "What the hell is that?" So that's an extension that's installed, and we'll get to that. But if you're just making a table, there's a rollable table, which always looks like that if you just open a blank one. And then there's another kind of table, which is basically just in any story element, you can make tables. And I'm just going to put BS text in here just to give everybody a visual idea of what I'm talking about. So if we had this stuff in here, you can make these kind of tables. And, again, I just put gibberish in there, but everybody's seen these kind of tables. So those are the two types of tables we're talking about.
Before you move on from the inline one, can you type out in that story what the shortcut keys were for the audience to make the tables?
Yes.
Just type it out in the story so we don't.
So yes, I can. So let's see.
This will help people once they understand that you have shortcuts and stuff.
That's really the only one you need to know. Oh, well, so if I want any text to be in a table, you just do Control-6. So if I do Control-6, you'll see, it might be kind of hard to see on stream, but I think you can. You'll see that it puts it in there. It puts it in the box, and then Control-1. So for those of you that do Fantasy Grounds, Control-1 is regular text. Control-2 is the title. Control-3 is talking text, so you can do that. Control-4 is bullet point. Control-5 is a link, but it's a blank link. And Control-6 is table. And then I don't think 7 and up is nothing. So that's how you would do that. And usually what I do when you watch me on Mondays do conversions, I'll take a whole paragraph and then I'll do what I did here, which is have just the text. And then, like, say it's all just one line of text, I'll do Control-6, and then I'll come up here and do Control-Tab to separate it. And then I'll go to the next one and hit Return to go to the next text field and hit Tab again. And then what I like to do on the first line is bold it out, right? So Control-V. So those are just shortcuts that I use to do that. But yeah.
Okay,
so
thanks,
Control-6 is what you want to make that.
And then Tab or whatever, Control-Tab.
Yeah,
split them.
Yeah, and you'll get, once you're in Fantasy Grounds, you'll get used to, like, Control arrow and Control tab will go word by word, and and then it'll highlight either one letter or one word or one whole line. You get used to how it's just a matter of using those keys and getting used to how your own hands work and your flow that you would decide. It's not necessarily the same for every person.
Is there a link for those commands?
I think so. I think that's actually part of the wiki, but if not, those commands are definitely in the 257 page Fantasy Grounds manual that everyone should read word for word.
I think we should do a show on those
top to bottom
shortcuts.
Show notes. Show notes. Yeah, I don't know if that's a whole show, but you're right. We could certainly do that. So let's see. I realize I'm still in my module. I don't necessarily want to be in here, but yeah, why is that? There's nothing open in the library. You know what? I'm just because I don't want to screw this up. I'm actually in the build of my PC generator, and I don't want to be in here because I don't want to screw something up. So I'm going to get rid of this. And I'm going to go, wait, tables, new table. I got to get rid of that too. So sorry, guys. I was showing these guys something before the show, and I didn't realize I was still in here. So I want to back out before I... In other words, what I'm saying is if I stay in that campaign, Well, no, I'm not. That's weird. Okay. I guess I wasn't in that campaign, but I was worried that I was in one of my modules that I built, and if I change anything, then it's going to change stuff, and I don't want to do that. But apparently, yeah, I don't get that. My library wasn't open yet. I had many story elements in there. So when we get back in here, we'll see what the hell's going on.
So we build tables for a few different reasons in Fantasy Grounds. So one is basically the monsters, random monster encounter tables. Then we have like treasure tables. And then
Right.
you have, which is a parcel. And then you have story. And then you have different forms of output. And I'll let you catch up.
Yeah, so what are these? I'm curious to know what these are. These are just examples of what we did.
Okay.
Oh yeah, these are all just examples. So this is
Got
nothing.
it.
Okay. Yeah,
Okay.
that's freaking me out. So I'm gonna get rid of everything. I'm just gonna get rid of all of it. So yeah, so there's different reasons to build tables, and we'll talk about the table output. And there's I think you there's 4 different things you can do.
Yeah, 3 or 4 that I know of.
So if you have a table, just get a brand new blank table here. You can output the stuff you roll on the table into the chat. So if I did that here, it puts it in the chat. It can be in a story entry. So if I click it, it'll make a story entry and put the results in there, whatever it is. A parcel, you can make a treasure parcel from the table. And then an encounter, you can also do that. So there's 4 different things you can do. And of course, these are just blank because I didn't do anything. There's 4 different things you can do. So you would have to decide, why am I making a table and what do I want it to do? Good example.
Go ahead.
Sorry. A good example of that is, let's say you're rolling a treasure parcel and you don't want the players to see it. You can make it go into either a story entry or a parcel so that when you roll it, it puts it in here and not over in the chat so the players don't know. That's one good example of why you would maybe do that. And there's many more examples. That's just one I came up with.
Now, in some options, you can hide the results, correct?
Yeah, so I could do that.
I'm not sure why
that's not showing up. Yeah, that maybe they took that away.
Well, I just use it today in a different interface. It may be the interface doing it. I don't know. What's that 0 right there? Is that just a modifier?
0 is a modifier. So you say I want this to be a 1d6 table, but I want it to be 1d6 plus 2 for whatever reason.
Oh, okay.
So that's what that is. Yeah, now you're right. I don't know why that isn't available all of a sudden, because there used to be an eye there, like in the combat tracker. There, where you can click on the eye and hide stuff. There used to be an eye in the table thing, and I don't see it. So what's up?
Try a different interface. I think that's what it is.
Well, when you say different interface, what do you mean?
Theme. Because I think the standard theme, the one that doesn't have any bells, balloons, and whistles.
Well, this is the standard 5e theme. I mean, I'll try it, but I don't think that has anything to do with it. I don't think
don't load anything at all.
Yeah, I don't think that's gonna. I mean, we'll see if I'm wrong, but I don't think that has anything to do with it. By the way, on that wiki page, on the table wiki page, does it talk about? Let's search for the word hidden. Nope, I don't. GM can hide the output. Okay, here we go. This box will only appear if the GM has set the option Show GM Rolls to on. That's what it is.
An option.
It's got nothing to do with the theme.
Okay.
Which I knew that to be true because themes don't mess with that.
So McOlglog was right. They had said, or he said so in the chat.
Okay.
Oh yeah, he also said, McOlglog, if you're trying to post a link in there, it won't work. But he also said that shortcuts are for pussies, so he's not always right. So we'll stick with this theme. That's fine, and let's go to options, and we'll put here. I'll show you. So let's open a table. We'll watch this come alive. So we don't see the eye there, but if I go to show GM rolls on, then the eye shows up. There it is.
Yeah.
So yeah, you can make this invisible or visible. So you could roll things into the chat, but you see the question mark is there, so the players don't see that, only the GM sees that. So you could do that as well. I'm glad we discovered that. I knew it was something.
Yeah.
Okay, so we talked about the 4 outputs. Good. What else do we want to talk about here?
So one quick thing so I like torturing my players a little bit, and for my druid, he has the summon creature feature or spells. So I made tables for like all the creatures he can possibly summon, and I make him roll a percentage to see if what he wants appears.
Right.
So when he fails that roll, generally I give him what they want because I'm a pretty nice guy. But when they roll that small percentage chance, they get to roll on a table I created with all the possible creatures they can summon. So like when they want a giant fire beetle to appear, maybe a giant bat will appear instead, and they have to deal with those.
Yeah, and that's easy to do. Like if you wanted to do, a D100 with a 20% chance, you would do something like this, and then if they got a 1 through 20, it would roll on a different table called, monsters or whatever it was called, and then here you would just put none.
Yeah.
So if you click here and you get 50, get 21 or higher, it just puts none. If you get 20, if you get 1 through 20, it tries to roll on another table called monster, which I don't have, but that's what it would do. Anything within brackets, it's going to try to roll on a different table. So you could literally keep, you could do infinite tables. It would just keep rolling and rolling and rolling and rolling, which is really cool. And an example of that is the critical fumble table. The way I have it set up is on the critical hit or critical fumble, if somebody rolls a 1 or a 20, it rolls a D6, and if the D6 is a 1 or a 2, it just says it's a critical hit, and it's just a normal one. But if it's a 3 through 6, it rolls on the critical hit effect table. And then, whoops, that's the wrong one. And then there's, like 200 different, most people have seen my, there's like 200 different entries on here, right? So yeah. Now let's show that how that works. Just real quick. Let's turn on in the options. We'll go down to critical fumbles and make sure those are on. Okay. Now I need to roll an attack on a character. So let's pull up Fury's character here for whatever reason. That's there. I like it.
Murder hobo.
So rather than roll 55 times until we get a 1 or a 20, let's turn on the manual dice. So good. I'm going to roll an attack with the great axe, and I'm going to say that's a 1. Now, if you watch it here, let me clear the chat. If you watch in the chat, when I say that a 1 is rolled, it's going to roll a D6, and then depending on...
Yeah, it won't do that with nested tables.
What do you mean?
It holds the result, so it won't. I've had trouble with that.
Oh yeah. So I can't do I have to do it. Gotcha.
I already tried.
Okay, yeah. So we'll just do it until we get it. Oh Christ! I turned it off again. No, here we go. Off. Okay. So yeah, we're just gonna have to do it till we hit. That's interesting. I never knew that. I didn't know that the manual roller didn't work that way.
Yeah, I found out the hard way too.
Cheerbits in the stream.
Squidian,
Thanks for the cheerbits.
Squidian, everybody. Gwydion's going to be the new bit boss, I'm assuming. Okay, so here we go. So I rolled a 1, which is a fumble, and it rolled a d6 and got a 1, which means it doesn't roll on the table. So let's keep going until we get an example of something that does. Now I could just go really fast, and then if something happens, we'll go back and read it. Okay, so there was another 1, and again, it only rolled a 2, so it didn't trigger the table. We need a 3 through 6. Another 2. Believe me, if we were playing a game right now, I'd be rolling 1s and I'd be getting worse effects than anybody's ever seen, and I'd be dead.
Cheer bits in the stream. Thanks for the cheer bits.
Because you're on my character.
Yeah, that's right. So I rolled a 20 and it rolled a d6 and got a 1. So again, we need a 3 through 6 on the d6. There we go. Something happened.
There we go.
So, it's going to play a sound now. What? Everybody calm down. I turned the sounds off.
Okay.
So I rolled a 20. I got a crit. It rolled a 3 on the d6, and so it rolled on the critical table, and I got number 190, which is whirlwind. A mini tornado develops around you and lifts creatures 1d3. Oh my god, ever. Anyway, so that's how that works. So some of the treasure tables, even in the DMG, they roll a treasure, and then they roll coins, and then they roll gems, and then they roll magic items, and then they go to a different magic item table. So you can actually have tables roll on multiple tables, and it's pretty fantastic. So that's just an example of that. Okay, good. So the types of tables. So Leroon, what did you want to have showcased here?
Well, you're kind of already showcasing your random table. Let's talk about the names of the tables have to be correct, and that to get them to link to other things, they have to have the correct call out, and the formatting has to be correct. So
Okay,
let's build a real basic, like 4-line table and go through that whole
well, we could build
tutorial.
one, or would you rather? I mean, I'd rather just get one from the Dungeon Master's Guide and show it.
There you go.
We can,
there you go.
I don't have to go through the whole exercise of it. But there should be in DMG, there should be tables that call other tables. So let's find out. What do I know? Adventure introduction, does that? No. Does anybody know off the top of their head?
Templates. Try templates.
Oh, okay, yeah, you're right. Templates. Nothing is listed as template.
Story template.
Oh, I don't see that. Do you see it?
Story. Go to story.
Oh,
Story entry. Yeah. And then go to templates, and that rolls on a bunch of different tables.
Are these? Yeah, but that's not. Yeah, that's a different thing. I don't want to confuse people. I'm talking about just tables now.
Okay.
Wait, did these magic item ones do it? Yeah. Okay. Here we go. This is one that does it. So, I have to pretend that there's people watching the show that don't know a goddamn thing at all. And if you try to tell them, if you try to show them stuff that they have to make assumptions by, they'll get really confused and they don't care anymore. So I want to try to make it easy for people. So here's a table that you roll on, and if you get a 30, you roll a D100. If you get a 31 to 100, you just get one of these items. But if you roll a 1 to 30, it rolls on another table, which is the 8th level spell scrolls. So now
let's pull that up.
Yeah, let's show that. Okay, so here's this table. So you see that inside the brackets is the title of the table, and it has to be exact. It has to match exactly. If it's even one space or one character or one period off, not counting the brackets. So if this will work or should work on, doesn't this work on nested on a, I want to test it. So if I roll here and I roll let's say I roll a 22. Man, that's kind of messed up, guys. That's messed up that the manual dice entry thing doesn't work. So now I have to roll until I get 16. Well, that should have given me Oh yeah, it did. Okay. Oh, you know what? It did work. I'm sorry, my bad. It did work the first time I did it on a manual roll. So I rolled a 16, and because I got between 1 and 30, it then rolled on this table here, and I rolled a 1, and I got the scroll of anti-magic field, which is there. That's it.
Okay.
So that's how that works, guys. You can, and if you wanted to make a table that you rolled on, and then you wanted to make it roll on another table that rolled, a D9, and a 1 was first level spells, a 2 was second level spells. I mean, you could keep breaking it down like that. You could even go, if I roll on a table that gives me a spell, then I want to go to the schools, and I want another table for abjuration, another one for conjuration, another one for evocation. You could do that. I mean, there's anything your mind can think of, you can do it with tables. I mean, it's amazing.
So that one's weighted. So I want to explain how that works. So you have a D100, and then 1 through 30 is basically all weighted towards the spell scroll, and then all the other ones might be evenly spaced or close to it.
Right, but like the sovereign glue is only 2 numbers. So there's only a 2% chance you're going to get there. And basically it's a percent, so there's a 30% chance for this one, and there's only a 2% chance for this. So you can change these numbers to anything you want, right? You can even make it a D20 and have it be, 1 through 19 is this, and 20 is this, whatever you want.
What can you change that output on that table to a parcel? So instead of just throwing an item, can we turn it into a parcel?
Yeah.
So you get like a whole bunch of items instead.
Yeah, so
or money or XP or whatever.
Yeah, this is probably not the best example to use. Let's use a treasure one.
Okay.
So let's do a giant treasure hoard. So we're going to roll on this table. Let's get rid of all this here. And this rolls on a bunch of different, you can see it rolls on 95 different, yeah. So we're going to turn this into a parcel, and then we're going to roll it and watch what it does. It just fills the whole, yeah, let's do it. Let's cash in. So
Nice.
it gave us 2 different monies, and then it gave us 6 different items and different amounts of those items.
Dragon Hoard.
That's a really powerful way to use tables, guys. And I mean, I just rolled up a treasure hoard in 2 seconds, less than 2 seconds. But look at the table. I mean, it's really complicated.
Give them the chat output. Show them what that
yeah, the chat output is there. I think it still did it. Here, let's do it again. Let's clear it. So we'll do everything. So let's do an encounter. Now this shouldn't work because you don't put treasure in an encounter. That's monsters only, right? So that's fine. Just didn't work. Let's chat is, you're gonna see what it does over here. It just blows up the chat, and you're like, oh my god, I don't know what the hell I'm doing. But all the links are there and everything. And then if you do it in a story entry, you can even do that, and it should put everything in the story entry for you.
Oh my god, that's too much.
It's really awesome. It's really super awesome, you guys.
That's not bad. The story entry.
Yeah, and this is so if you want to squeeze it into, say you're making an adventure, and I mean you probably would normally do it in a parcel, but maybe you're making an adventure and there's some reason as a DM you want it in a story entry. Maybe you're going to tell the party they came across this treasure, but only certain amount of it is available, or who knows what your ideas might be. But Fantasy Grounds allows you to do it, so you can make use of it if you want. So that's awesome. Boom, tables. What else about tables?
So we're just kind of touched on the do's and don'ts of that table with that example. So I had a section. So you don't want to output things that wouldn't make sense or may not work for you. So that's kind of what that was showing is, you probably wouldn't want to put that big treasure hoard in the chat. Doesn't mean you can't, but it just doesn't make much sense.
Yeah, but you saw what happened. I mean, it just we went forever, and you're like, oh my god.
Big mess.
It's a big mess. So that's why you can do it in a, whatever makes sense. But most things you're rolling, usually most things you're rolling on a table is just one result. It's giving you the monster. It's giving you, the choice, or whatever it is. But if you're having a bunch of output, then yeah, you totally want to put it in a parcel, an encounter, or a story.
Okay.
Okay, what else did you want to talk about here?
The lore.
Yeah,
That's
so
story elements.
yeah, so any of the background tables, I don't think I have. Let's see. Oh, there's no backgrounds in that. Let me get the player's handbook. So you guys know those stories for the backgrounds. You guys have probably all seen those. It's just in every background there's 4 stories for ideals, bonds, and all that. That's the type of table that you would use to do anything. Just your basic table with however many choices you want, and then whatever the thing is you want to say. And so you can use this table structure for anything. You know, a story, rumors, lore elements, monster traits. I mean, I could just go on and on and on and on.
Spin the bottle. Yeah.
That's just, yeah, right. Kiss the girl to your left, kiss the guy to your right, kiss the transvestite across from you, whatever it is. Doesn't matter. I'm old enough, I don't care. Sex doesn't matter to me. Gender doesn't matter. I'd take it all. I'm going to get letters now. Probably offers. That's awesome. I'll give you my address. All right, so the show's
How do
gone
you
off the
make
rails. Already, we've only been doing it for half an hour. It's already off the rails.
How do you
By the
make
way,
a table? Oh, sorry.
I was
This
going
is
to
a
say,
question in the chat.
just to remind everybody, because most people come, they don't give a shit what we're saying. They want prizes, and we are going to give prizes away, guys. So stand by. What was your question, Leroon?
This is actually from the chat. He's asking, how do you make a table roll twice instead of just once?
Well, I mean, the easy answer is you click it once and then you click it again. But you can do that. Let's do that. I'll make a table. I think the quickest way is to actually make a table that does it. So let's say I want 2 results on this table right here.
Okay.
So I'm going to copy this title. I'm going to paste it right here. I'm going to say there's only going to be one, you know, a D1, just one result only. So now if I put this in brackets, if I roll on this table, what I'm telling it to do is I want you to roll a D1, and if you get a 1, I want you to roll on this table. So let's see if that works.
Ooh.
So it did not work because the bracket is backwards. See, if you screw up, guys. Let's try that again. Okay, so it rolled here, and I got number 5, which is, I quote. Now, the way you make it roll more than once is you come to the beginning and you put bracket, the number you want, and then X, 2X. I think that's how you do it. So now this should, if I did this right, this should roll twice on that table. And again, I screwed up. I put a true bracket, not a... I put the wrong kind of bracket. Okay, let's try that again. Okay, so I got 2 results. I got a 7 and a 3. So there you go. Now, if I wanted to roll 20 times on this table, let me clear the chat. And as a matter of fact, I'm going to put that in a story entry. I want 20 results from this table. And there's only 8 things, so I'm going to get a lot of repeats. So let's watch what happens. There they all are. So I rolled 20 times on that table. So yeah, tables are super powerful. Like I said before, anything you can think of, you can get it done. I mean, it's amazing. And also, thanks for the follow, somebody
Lady Shell.
followed. Oh, was that Lady Shell? Oh, what's up, Lady Shell?
Yeah.
I talked to her last night. Thanks for the follow. Welcome to the stream. So yeah, you can roll like any number of results on any number of tables, and you could, if you had things built out in tables, you could write an entire adventure by one click. And there are actually those tables.
Oh yeah.
I love you, man.
Dungeons and Adventures.
Sorry, I didn't. Somebody subbed, and thanks for the sub, by the way. But when that happened, Furied, I didn't hear what you said.
You mean the tables that build like the whole dungeons and adventures for everybody?
Yes.
Yeah.
I love those. I love those because they're great for like on the fly, just to have fun and not have to actually think.
Yep. You missed our spin the bottle table.
So
Oh.
random, I could have swore there were maybe that's in Xanathar's. Aren't there? Where are those tables, Fury, that you love so
In
much?
Xanathar's.
Okay,
The
let's
ones with
open
all the
Xanathar's.
background?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So let's go to
I like
Xanathar's,
those.
and you guys could, take inspiration from these tables and then make your own. But in Xanathar's Guide to Everything, let's open that.
They talk about, your family, you had a traumatic event, do you not have a traumatic event? And of course, like, if you rolled, like, misfortune, how did your family die? There's another table for that.
Right.
Like, I think I rolled one and it was like said I was born in a barn, but I lived in a nice estate.
Okay.
So what are the
you were
names of
kept
those
outside.
adventures? Ooh, that sounds fun.
Yeah. Yep.
But I think it started off with one table particularly. I'm looking at your list of tables there. Adversaries, there you go.
But there's one that'll just build you a whole story. I know it's in here.
Oh, there's one for childhood memories, childhood home.
Yeah, but isn't there one that builds you an entire? Maybe they don't have that for Xanathar's, because that would definitely be.
not so much where it does it like you click one and it gives you everything. It kind of breaks it down into reference manuals will help us with that too. But there's also I know there was like broken up into different sections, like if you were a tiefling, if you were an elf, or this and that.
Yeah.
But yeah, the reference manual might have where it's listed at. Oh, reference manual. This is your life. Thank you, Alex.
This is your
He
life.
knows. Yeah.
Why is it not narrowing my choices down?
It's in chapter 1, according to Alex.
So no table
Okay,
there.
so wait, hold on, scroll down. It says section by. Oh, it doesn't have the links for it, but go back, scroll down. It says ideas, how to do the thing, section by section. Scroll down. So you get an origins table, then personal decisions, life events, supplemental tables.
Right. Okay, so here's what you could do. You could build your own table. So I'm going to do this real quick, and I'll just do the first 2 steps, but everybody will get an idea of. Okay, so I want to. Let's see. I want to add. No, not. I want to add. Not rows, but columns. Okay. So let's just say there's only one result, and for the first thing, I want an origin. You can also use tables. I mean, sorry. What did Leroon try to make me look at earlier? Story templates. You can also use templates for this, but this is just another way to do it using tables. So I'm going to put arcane origins there with the brackets, and then it says personal decisions. So here is personal goals. I'll use that table. I'm just copying it and putting it with brackets. And then let's go one more and do life events. So good. I'm going to take that. I'm going to copy the name of the table exactly. Put it in brackets in the 3rd column. Now, I should be able to roll.
The life events didn't pop up in there.
What? Oh, Christ. There we go. Thank you. So I'm going to put this into a story entry, and this should roll me, because I'm only rolling a D1 and only getting one result. It's going to force it to do those things. So I should get a arcane origin, a personal goals, and a life event all rolled off those 3 random tables is what should happen here.
Okay.
And
so
that is
now
exactly
you need to
what
decide.
happened.
So you need to decide your output. Well, in this case, it's correct. It's story.
Yeah, I chose my story output there.
Okay.
I changed it so that it wouldn't, it's still in the chat. It always goes to the chat no matter what, but.
Right.
So at least
you
it looks
were,
nicer there. It looks more
yeah.
legible.
Now the difference between here's the difference between just using a table like that and getting the raw info and using a story template. And we're not really doing a show about story templates, but I think it's important to show the difference here. Is that if I make a new story template, this is what the thing that sometimes you see generate. So I can do this. What was the first thing? Origin. Yeah, your arcane origin is, and then it's the same thing. You put the same thing you put in the table in the story thing, and then period, and then maybe I want to do this. I'll put a dash to make it look nice, because it's basically gonna generate what you say and then plus the table information. Your personal goal is, and then dash, and then the name of that table, period, and then a life event was, or whatever we want. You can put whatever you want.
Yep.
And copy that in there and put a period. Now, when I generate this story template, it's going to give me those 3 sentences with the information filled out in it. So your arcane origin is, you are the product of generations and careful selective breeding. Hitler. Now see, those things already have periods in them, so I would take these periods out because it gave me double periods, right? That's why. But anyway, you get the idea. I'm not going to read all that, but yeah, you can. So you could take this idea and you could make one of these tables that was 49 columns wide and basically put every piece of your adventure, who's the arc, who's the villain, who are the NPCs, what's the story, where does the story take place, what's the population of the biggest city, what's the name of the big, on and on and on and on and on. And you could literally build an adventure template. You would end up with hundreds of tables, with each table having dozens or hundreds of entries in it. But then how cool would it be to go, oh, let's make an adventure, click, I'm done, and it just makes it for you. I don't think a lot of people that play Fantasy Grounds even realize what you can do with these tables. Like, it's pretty insane.
Hey, Rob, with the table that you just made, the one where you put the brackets, can you just use links instead for each one of those?
You can use a link, but you can't use a link to the table.
Okay.
Because I'll show you why. If you take the brackets out and you just link that particular table, I'll show you what happens. Where the hell are the tables here? It's not like I've never used this before. So arcane origins. So if I just do that, then what'll happen is when I roll on the table, it won't roll on that table. It'll just give me the link to that table.
Okay.
And see, it didn't even do that. It just gave me arcane origins.
Jeez.
So yeah,
right.
So you don't. That's not how you use that. But if you were just doing items, like if I switch this to parcel, it might make that an item. I don't know. But see, again, I'm trying to mess with it, not the way. Yeah. See, I'm just screwing around. So yeah. But I'm glad you asked me that, because that's the answer to what not to do.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've come across that myself. I was like, oh, what did I do wrong?
Let's give away a prize here. I know this will be. I know what we'll do. I know exactly which prize to give away, because we're going to show it right now. We're going to show. First of all, Raffle. Hello. Let's reset.
What do you want to give away?
We're going to give away the random encounter generator.
Okay.
That's a pretty good one.
Yeah.
Since we're talking about it,
Yep.
So if you guys want to win what we're going to talk about, the random encounter generator, go ahead and put the keyword Rob2E in the chat, ROB number 2E. You'll see it there. And you can enter to win this. And guys, remember what the prize is. If you win it, you win it. None of this give it to my friend or forward it or donate it to the next show. That's too much accounting for me. So if you win it, you win it. So enter if you'd like to have it, and I'll show it right now because it's all about nested tables. So there you go.
Cool.
Well, one thing I've also found with that's real helpful for me for like fumble charts or critical hit charts is you can drag the table down to the numbered slots down at the bottom. I don't know what you call those
Hotkeys.
hotkeys, and you can have a shortcut always on your desktop for whatever table you're using. Quite a bit.
Yep, that's a great tip because you always want to be able to get to stuff. So like I'll do that here. I'll do that now. Okay, so I've opened up the random encounter creator, which uses the random monster tables. So I've got to make sure they're both open. So now let's go to tables. Well, no, let's go to, I want to show how this works, I guess. So random encounter creator. So this allows you to roll by telling the story template what level your party is. So let's just say we have a level 10 party, and let's say there's 5 people in the party. So level 10, party of 5. So what this is going to do, when I hit generate, it's going to go find that table, and I'll show you that table. If I can open tables here. So level 10, party of 5. It's going to roll on this table, and this table is going to roll a D19, and when it rolls a D19, it is going to do whatever it's told here. It's going to roll on another table for the CR monsters, and then it's going to give a formula. So let's do that. So it just duplicates the window, and it rolled a Naga, and it tells you 3 plus 1d8 Nagas is what you need. That's how many Nagas you need to fight a party that has 5 people in it. That's a level 10, and so that's it. And so you can see that's an example of a story template using a nested table. So that's pretty cool. Now, if you were just interested in random monsters only, like say I wanted a random CR10 monster, then this just has the monsters on it. That's all 35 CR10 monsters that are there. So there you go. And that's where the Naga came from, obviously. The Naga should be on here. Is the Naga on there?
So these draw on just the monster manual, is that correct? Or is that SRD?
No, it draws on everything.
Okay.
But if you don't have that source, like say I don't have anything open, right? So if I click on the Naga, it's going to tell me, hey, you need 5th edition foes open. Do you want to open it? And I'll say yeah, which I won't do now. But if you don't own a source that this has, just re-roll. Just roll again. Just close that, hit generate again, and it give you a different monster. So Adult Brood Dracolich. You open that, and that comes from the monster manual. Oh, I got the monster manual. So you click on it and it opens it. Bam. So this is a really powerful and cool thing. So for those of you that are entering to try to win this, I will show you. This uses monsters from the Monster Manual, Volo's Guide, Tome of Beasts, 5th edition foes, Monsters of the Guild, Mordenkainen's Tome of Foes, and when it's done and completed in like a few months, it will also include the Creature Codex, which is Tome of Beasts 2. So you don't have to own any of those sources. As a matter of fact, if you own none of those and all you have is the SRD, you can still use this because there's the revamped version, and then there is also the original version, which just uses SRD. So even if you don't own any of the books, you can still use this. It's pretty cool.
I had a question in the chat earlier that I would like to go back to. I think to get the people to understand that the tables can be copied. So in other words, you can make a copy of an existing table provided it's not read-only, and change the values as to what you need for like weighting the table, for instance. Optimus had a problem with the idea that he wanted to change the weight of what books or what sources one of your tables, I think it was the PC generator, and he wanted to change the weight of the table so it doesn't call upon sources that he doesn't have. So I told him if you have to,
yep, you you can do that. If you don't want to bother with it trying to force things on you that you don't have, you could do it. So let's go with that. Let's open that one, and I'll show the example of how we could do that.
Okay.
If I can all of a sudden learn how to work the library. Okay, so that was the random PC generator he was talking about. By the way, guys, I've made a few modules. I don't know if you know. Random PC generator is here. Yeah. So I'll show you guys what he's talking about. If you go to the table and see, I like to close these things that I'm not working with, so I don't have to frickin' read 700 different table entries and just work with the one I'm on. So he is talking about when you roll, I think class table. When you roll for class, it's going to roll from the Dungeon Master's Guide, the PHB, the Sword Coast Adventures Guide, and the Xanathar's Guide. Let's say that you only own the PHB. That's all you own. You can come in here, you can open this table, and you can just zero out the ones that don't apply.
Right. And I think his concern is that it would ruin the module or.
Well, you got to be. I mean, you know, so two things to say about that. One, you got to be careful because if you make a mistake, it's jacked. But two, the worst that's going to happen is, like, let's say I change this, right? And let's say I somehow fucked it up. Well, I could just go back over here to the library, and I could hit this revert changes button. I could right click on the module and hit the revert changes, and now watch what happened to that table. It's back the way it was. Yep, so if you screw something up, you can always save yourself by going back to the way the original is. But now, if I roll on this, it's going to roll a 1d4 and try to roll on these different tables. So, yeah, what happens? I roll, I get a 4, and it rolls Xanathars, and it tells me get the sorcerer out of the Xanathars. But I don't own Xanathars, so what you would do, again, is just zero these out. Make this just a 1. So now when you roll, no matter what you do, it's just going to roll in the PHB. So now when I roll, it's going to give me unable to find what happened? Oh.
Or you can put 1 on all of them if you wanted to.
No, because you don't want to roll on those.
Oh, okay.
Ooh, I think maybe, oh, yeah, see, I never thought about this until he asked that question. I think maybe what you have to do is take those out. You have to just take out what you don't have, and then just leave yourself with that. So now when I roll, it goes and it gives me the Ranger from the PHB. And again, if you buy, like, say you have only the PHB, but now you buy Xanathars. Oh, I got Xanathars now. I want to use that too. Let me go back here to modules, see what's loaded, go back here, revert that, go back to that table, and now I'll just take out the DMG and Sword Coast Adventures. Now I've got both Player's Handbook and Xanathars in there. And again, you want to make these so that it makes sense.
Yeah.
Whoops.
I think people are confused that if you change something here, it's going to change the original module. It's only going to change it for this session unless you re-export it.
Yeah,
then it
exactly.
Will change it.
Anything you like, you know, a lot of people, you know, you open up Princes of the Apocalypse and you make a bunch of notes in it. That doesn't change the module. It just changes your instance of it on your campaign on your computer. If you and if it gets too crazy, like I said, you can revert changes and it'll all go back. So I don't know why I can't put a 2 in there all of a sudden.
What's our timer right now?
Oh yeah, we're probably ready to give it away. It's time. All right, so here we're gonna do it. We're gonna give away a winner. So let's draw the winner. Who is it? Oh, it's Ranavan. Ranavan won. I don't think that person's won before. So congrats to Ranavan. So Ranavan, what you do is come to my Discord if you're not already a member. There's the link in the chat, and send me a direct message. And I need your DMs Guild email. That's how I'll send you that. And so just come to Discord and PM me, personal message, and send me your DMs Guild email. If you are not a member of the DMs Guild, first of all, how dare you? Second of all, just go there and sign up for a free account, and then tell me what email you used, and remind me that you won the that you won the random PC. No, the random kin counter generator. All right, cool. So that answers his question. So what else do we need here? What else are we doing? I thought tables. I literally thought the show was going to be 10 minutes. Like I didn't know what we were going to.
No, they're pretty complex as what you can do, what you can't do.
Yeah, so you can pretty much do anything you can think of. So we talked that you can hide it, you can weight it, you can change the numbers of the dice rolled.
Yep.
Yeah, we talked about combos that don't work, shit that doesn't work.
Yeah, we did.
So now we should. Yeah, we did random encounters because that's what I gave away. So now we can move to inline tables. So there is an extension. First, we'll go to the thing, and I'll post the link in the chat for everybody. So we talked about the wiki. So Loki Air, which is James Holloway, he works for Fantasy Grounds. He made an extension called CSV Table Parser. Paster. And so I'll give everybody the link to that here in the chat. If you're watching on YouTube, I usually don't put the links in the YouTube videos. You got to watch live. Because somebody will email me and say, hey, why don't you put the link? So what this does is, earlier in the show, I was typing a bunch of text, and then I was making a table out of it manually. This will allow you to do it easily in one step. So there's something called CSV Table Paster, and it'll give you this button, this blue button up here on the top when you load the extension. And so how this works is you have to do it in a story entry. So let's just get a blank story entry here. Let's get a new one. And the instructions are on the form entry, but you know, so we're going to, whatever this is titled, you put in hashtag table, all small letters, and then hashtag again. And then this will convert this for you. So if I go, let's just say I'm going to find a list of something to put in a table, whatever that might be. Where can I find a list of anything? It doesn't even matter. Just get a list. All of a sudden, I don't have a list of anything. Just give me any kind of list.
There's that one thing I was Chartopia. They have tons of lists of tables and stuff on there. Chartopia.
Chartopia. Here it is. Okay, so let me just go get any list. Well, that's not helping me. I don't like the format of that. Isn't there one with just a text list in it?
Well, this may be good. I don't know.
Yeah, I've been to this site, but you tried to get me to this site before. This site is shit. I hate it.
Okay.
List of movies, just anything, right? I just need a list. How hard can that be?
Well, that's half the work, is sorting out a list and having it formatted correctly so you can.
Oh my
copy
God!
and paste
Just
it.
a text list of anything.
So just a word of advice: make sure that you have
Okay,
your
here
list
we go.
created.
So, but I just want to show how quick and easy
Right.
this is. So here's all the states.
There you go.
So I'm going to copy that. I'm just copying it, Control C, and I'm going to convert clipboard, and there it is. They're all in there. Boom, like that. Bam, done. It's over. How quick was that?
That is nice.
So that is a really super nice thing that you can do. And the other cool thing is that if you want to get more complicated and have multiple columns, you can go into an Excel spreadsheet or a Google Sheets or whatever you want. Let's just open a blank one here. And as long as you have comma separated values, that's what CSV stands for, comma separated values, right? So let's say I want the states in there and I want the numbers 1 through 50 to go with it. So I'm just going to write a little formula here that adds 1 to the above 1, so that I don't have to type in 1 through 50 900 times. I don't know why that's not letting me do that. Hello. Damn it. All right, A1 plus 1. No, no, no. Wow. So something just went way wrong there. Okay. So now if I copy this all the way down, it should go to 50. Now we're giving now we're doing an Excel. Now they
But
have
people
to be
do know.
they have to be comma separated. So this column is going to be the commas, right? I'm just going to make those all commas. So now basically what I'm doing is, 1 comma Alabama, 2 comma, well, there's no comma there. What happened? Right? So everybody gets it. So 1 through 50, comma with the state after. Now the comma tells you you want it to be another column in the table. So I've copied that into memory. Now if I come back over here and I'm going to make a new one. So I put table. Now what we should see is we should see a table with 2 columns. The first column being 1 through 50 and the second column being the states. That's what we should see. And of course, there it is.
Nice.
So, I mean, if you want to make a table fast with a lot of information in it, and then I could come up here and I could insert, number,
Right.
and then
The whole thing
tab.
is organizing your text before you bring it in.
Right.
Because this is the easy part. The hard part is getting the list formatted correctly.
Oh yeah, I might have screwed this up. Let's find out. State, shift tab, no, control tab, and then return. There we go. This one I don't need. I forget how to get rid of that. But anyway, if you didn't screw it up like I did, you can do that, and then you can say like that. And I totally don't remember how to freaking. Let me see if I can get rid of that.
Nope, it's there forever now.
It probably is there forever. Shh.
Can you do Control Z?
Well, Control Z just deletes what you did.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd have to go back to my original.
Gotcha.
Like here. So what I should have done was I should have hit return here and then typed in number and then control. I should have done that. That's what I should have done. And then I can bold the whole thing. So there, I got number, state, bam, everything's done. Okay, that's pretty exciting. That's the first one we want to talk about, the CSV table parser. Now,
does that also work for rollable tables, or is that just for story tables?
That's what we're going to get to. So
I'm sorry.
Lokier wrote that one, but our good buddy Celestian, who probably is in the chat, I don't know, is Celestian in there? Anyway,
I haven't seen him pop up yet.
Our good buddy Celestian actually wrote this one, so I'll put this link in the chat.
Did you tell him the story, Rob, about that? The one, remember he saw you creating modules and he.
Oh yeah, he saw me. I was doing tables manually, like line by line, and he was like, "Dude, let me write you something that'll fix that." And so he went and wrote this. So this is Celestian. This is on the Fantasy Grounds forums. I'll put the link for everybody.
Oh, he is here with us.
Oh yeah, he's here. Okay, good. He's lurking. Okay, so we have him to thank for this, and this is really cool. So let's say, let me find a good example. Let me open up one of my PDFs, one of my many thousands of projects that I'm working on. I know Kwood has rollable tables out the ass. Let me go look at one of his things here.
Oh yeah.
DM handbook. Let's open this up. There'll be a 5,000 tables in here that I need to.
Yeah, his stuff is like the table guy or something.
Critical hit table. How dare he? What is this? Oh, I might have to forget that is in there. I might have to accidentally skip that. What the hell's going on? Critical hit. That's funny. Okay. Critical miss table magic. Right. So let's say I want this to be a rollable table. Roll a d20 after a critical miss on a 1 or 2 on a d. Yeah, whatever. Okay. So let's say I'm going to hold in a PDF. You can hold Alt and copy, and that way, well, it should do it. Is it? Oh, it's Alt. It shouldn't copy the numbers, only the text that I want. Right? Oh, and I need a, well, here, I'll just make it. So I'll just make the title. So I'm going to copy that. I'm going to come over here. I'm going to go to tables. And if you have Celestian's extension, you will get a blue arrow right here. So I'm going to click on the blue arrow, and it's telling me, hey, you want to import a table? All right, fine. So type in what you want, and so I just pasted everything. Now, here's the trick. Every line is a thing. So I have to go in there, and if there were double lines, I have to, delete them so they're only a single line. So I look for periods. No period here.
Okay. Oh, you need a header too.
Yeah, and so that's what I was going to do. So the first line is always your header. So I would have to go up here and put, critical role. ROLL, everybody, not the fucking other people. All right, so there should be 21 lines there. So the first line is going to be your title, and then the other 20 lines is going to be your rollable table. Now watch this. Import. Bam! It's done. It's over.
Yeah.
I'm done. I don't have anything else to do. It's over. I'm going to maybe label that, and that's it. It's done. There's the 1 through 20, and there's all your things, and there's the title that I put in there, and it's over. It's finished. That's the quickest thing in the show. I show you how to do that in 3 seconds. It's over.
Awesome.
So
now it doesn't do multiple
cheer
columns.
bits.
So
cheer bits in the stream. Thanks for the cheer bits.
Cheer bits. Thank you for the cheer bits, Marbania. Yeah, it doesn't do multiple columns.
That'll be what, version 2.0?
Celestian's right now. He's going, God damn it! It doesn't do multiple columns. Why are they talking about multiple columns? Fuck! I have to go.
Someone asked. Somebody asked. Like,
it won't do that, but I'm sure Celestian might have that in there one day.
Yep.
No pressure.
Because I'm sure I don't know how that. I don't know what he would have to do to make that happen, but I'm sure that whatever it is, he
probably
can do
a
it.
pain.
Yeah, but it might just be a matter of making 2 fields, or I don't know. If I knew how to do it, I'd do it myself, which I don't. But that's how quick you can make a table, a rollable table. It's actually making a rollable table seems faster than making an inline table, because there's a lot of steps to the other one. All right, man, that's good stuff.
Awesome.
Let's check
I don't know.
off what
I'm
we did.
actually pretty excited because then I can actually roll up my character's background with just a click of a button.
Yes.
I don't want to do that. I'm excited. I mean, not like background, but like the whole backstory of where I was born, my parents, where I lived.
Right. So,
life path.
Leroon, I didn't know what you meant by formula to limit random encounters. I don't
that
know.
thing that you showed us last. Remember we were playing around with that? So it's a random encounter, which is a table. And then you could put syntax in front of the tables to alter how they behave. So like ×2, or you could roll on this table, or this many monsters.
Oh,
You know
okay.
what
So
I'm
I
saying?
already covered that then.
Kind of.
Well, what didn't I cover? What about that needs to be talked about?
The encounters. If you bring up a random encounter table, and you put in some syntax in there, it would basically output whatever value of formula that you put in there. So tables can be dictated by formulaic.
Oh yeah. So the two. Okay. So
values.
Yeah. So let's just get any one here. Let's just get a. Well, no. I need something. Man. I guess I need to go to a different. Well, let's use this one.
Okay.
No, can't do that. There's no good table, and I have to. Yeah, see, man, teaching. I hate. I would never be a good. I would never be a good teacher because I get too frustrated with myself. And then if I say something once and somebody goes, "I don't get it," then it's over. I'm done. 2 + 2 is 4, fucker. Get out. So let's open. My brain is freezing right now. Can you think of a good one? What's the one we were working with before where we put 2 times in front of it?
Right. Let's grab a monster encounter, a random monster encounter.
Okay. Yeah.
So something that has a random monster encounter in it.
Okay.
Doesn't matter which one. Okay.
Right. Okay. So here, this will be a good example.
There you go.
So this is going to, if I roll, depending on what we get, it's going to give us one entry off this table, and then it's also going to kick out this result. That's part of the formula. But we can go over here, and we can say things like, I want 3 of these monsters instead of just 1.
Okay.
And then I'm going to say that for, oh man, I guess I can't tab it out, but I want to put that in. I can't do it the way I want to. I got to do it with my mouse. You know, I want that in every one. So no matter what I roll, I get 3 monsters, right? So let's test it. If I roll here, let's do story entry.
So it has to be before,
though. Yeah, but why didn't that work?
Maybe no brackets.
Maybe it only worked.
So 1d4 plus. Okay.
Yeah, see, I don't know. I honestly don't know why that doesn't work. That totally should work. Why it doesn't work. Oh, I know why. Because the other goddamn tables aren't open. That's why.
Oh, okay.
Oh, wait. Yeah, they are. Random encounter creator and random... No, the monster tables aren't open. Yeah, so that's... Don't make that mistake. Holy shit. All right. Now it should work. Okay, now it should work. Because it was trying to roll on a table that didn't exist. Now it should work.
Got it.
Okay, wait. Let me do it in story. Okay, so it's giving me 3 monsters there. 3 monsters, 3 monsters, 3 monsters, 3 monsters, right? So now you can also do this. You can also go 1d4 monsters. Whatever, right? And unfortunately, I have to go down and change each one of these because you can't tab it or whatever the hell.
Can't copy
but
it.
So the point is, you can put any, you can basically put any mathematic thing in there to get you what you want. 1d4, 1d4.
So that's rolling on the table that many times, right?
Right. So what I'm doing is I'm telling it, I want you to roll a d4, and whatever that roll is, 1, 2, 3, or 4, I want you to roll that many times on this table. So now let's watch this work. Okay, I'm going to roll a d7, and whatever I get, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, it's going to go over and do one of these. So let's see. So I rolled a 5, and that was to roll on the 1/8 table. It rolled a 1, which means it's going to give me a monster 1 time. And this thing is just the thing that's over here. That's that formula. And so it gave me 1 monster. So let's try that again. This time it rolled a 2. And it only gave me 1 monster. That didn't seem right.
What if it did the same monster? Like it's actually supposed to be 2 fire snakes. Oh, never mind.
It could just be that amount is throwing it off or something.
Oh, I forgot the times. Times. Whenever shit doesn't work, guys, you fucked it up somehow. Fancy, it's a, computers do what you tell them to, and I didn't tell it. Okay, let's try that again now. This should work. Okay, so I got, it doesn't show you the number that you rolled, but so that's obviously 2. I obviously got 3 there. I got 3 there. Right, so it works. 1 there.
So
2.
Does that amount throw it off at all on the back there versus amount?
No, that's just, what that's for. That's just a different formula for the random encounter. I mean, this is probably a bad example for me to have used because I don't want to confuse people. Just pretend the right half of that doesn't exist.
Okay.
Because that's the like if you're a party of 5 with 3 people, and you roll on the CR0 table, you need 6 + 1d9 of those monsters to fight the party. That's what that is.
Oh, that would be a good thing you showed us that, that other formula where it was
Yeah,
$ sign, whatever. Yeah.
Oh yeah, but again, don't fucking confuse people. don't bring out shit. People are gonna be like, what is he talking about?
Okay.
So, because we're just covering tables today, if they want to know all the information, then they need to go watch 31 shows. Like Validate did. Validate in the last 6 days or so. Validate watched episodes 1 through 30. Congrats to Validate. He watched
You should get a prize for that.
He should get a prize for that. Yeah, Validate. You should get a prize for that. Only I don't want to set a precedent that anybody can just say, "Hey, I watched all 30 episodes."
They would have to comment about specific things in each episode.
Yeah, I'd have to give them a quiz. Yeah. Oh yeah, did you really? What's my middle name? I don't think I've said that on any show.
Then you'd force us to go back and watch them too.
Yeah. Okay, so let's see. What else? So the formula. Okay, so we covered that. So you guys can do formulas. You can see. I mean, just every little thing you can do with these tables makes them really powerful. We did the table thing. We did we talked about that. Layroon says if all else fails, watch Zacchaeus videos, which is true. he's got videos on everything. Random versus random encounters. What did you mean by that?
Oh, that was you've already covered that. And,
I did? Okay.
James versus Jason.
Whoops. Oh, James versus Jason. Yeah. That is really funny, you guys. I'll show you what he means by that. So, I already closed that because you know how I am. If I'm done with something, I have to close it. Right. Fantasy Grounds, table extension. This is Celestians, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's not the one we want. We already did that one. So we want. Is it this? It's the. It's the C. No, that's. God damn it. That's the same one. My computer just loves Celestian. It just goes to his automatically. So here we go. So here's this post. We showed this guys to you. So Lokier, that's James Holloway. He's an employee of Smiteworks. James Holloway, JH. So when we were looking at this earlier, on the second page of the forum post, Layroon goes, "Oh, it's the same guy." Because his initials are JRH, JH, and I said, why would somebody post on the forum with 2 different IDs? And so it's not the same guy. JH is Jason Harden. So there's James Holloway and Jason Harden. But anyway, that's a little joke. I guess now that I'm going over that a second time, that's way more funny to just you and me, and everybody else can give a shit.
Maybe it's not as funny anymore, but it was funny.
It's not, but it was.
It's one of those things that's funny when it happens, and it's funny when you're drinking and drunk. So yeah. Right.
So there's YouTube videos here that you've posted. I don't know what they are, but
those are just going over, encounters and stuff. That was just in case we needed to, pop one of those up. We don't have to show those.
All right, cool. So, having gotten to this point, Breuer or Fury or Layroon, if you have questions, let us know. Anything I covered. People in the chat, you're free to ask questions about tables or about anything Fantasy Grounds. We'll answer all questions. That's what our show is about. We have a topic that we like to cover, but then if there's any questions, we'll answer them.
Yeah, Lady Shell maybe have a question, maybe. Go ahead, Fury. She might.
I noticed that we've been covering shows, and everything that we've been talking about is always geared towards 5e, like with rule sets and character creation and everything. Are we ever going to talk about a show ever target anything that's not 5e?
I'll open Starfinder right now. Don't test me. I'll open Savage Worlds right this minute. I'll open Fantasy Ground. I'll open Pathfinder even. I don't care. What do you want me to open?
No, I'm just saying. I mean, maybe we can do a different show.
That's a good point. The only reason I personally talk about 5e is that's my expertise. I know 5e inside out, backwards and forwards. The other rule sets I don't know. So I would, if people ask me questions, I'm gonna be like, Fury knows that.
Throw me under the bus because I mentioned anything.
But I mean, I have all the rule sets. I have Savage Worlds, I have Starfinder, I have Pathfinder, I have Cthulhu.
We don't have Hello Kitty RPG.
Is there such a thing?
You gotta make that yourself.
Hold on. I don't know what I did with my Springfield XD and all my bullets, but let me see if I can go find, because I'm gonna blow my head right off if there's a fucking Hello Kitty RPG.
I know
Better
there's
not
a
be.
Sailor Moon one.
I don't
And
know.
you play as a Sailor Moon. It's okay.
But we could do a show about another rule set, but if we did such a show, it would just be me opening it and going, "Hey, there it is, everybody," and then I wouldn't be able to talk about it really.
We'll have
I
to
mean,
get a good guest.
I've played.
Yeah, we'd have to get for it.
Celestians is like a Savage Worlds guy, I think. I've played Savage Worlds, and I've played Cthulhu, and I've even played some of the community made like Star Trek and Star Wars rule sets that aren't part of Fantasy Grounds, but they're on the forums. You can get the rule set for those games. But I've never even once played Pathfinder my entire life, even though I've converted like a dozen modules. I've never played it. And I mean, I've only been into the 4th E rule set once, because Spite likes 4E, and we played 4E on there. But yeah, so that's a good point, Fury. So I guess people just understand that this is 5E, concentrated. That doesn't mean we're elitist about it or that we won't talk about other things. It's just that my personal expertise is only in 5E, so I can't really talk about other things.
However, the functionality should be very parallel. So it's not like we're excluding the others. It's just that it just reskinned and retitled, right? So if it's based on the core rules, some of that functionality
So like
should work.
all the stuff we talk about, tables and all of our shows, basically it all sort of applies. And yeah, Celestian's right. It's not, he doesn't play Savage Worlds. He plays AD&D. Whatever, it's all the same. Anything that's not 5e is all the same. Everything's the same. That's I guess I said I wasn't elitist. I guess I have to take it back now, because if it ain't 5e, it ain't shit. But actually, I really like the Savage Worlds rule set. I like how I like how those dice explode in that. We can show that. I can load this up and show exploding dice.
That one has exploding dice.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Yep.
Because the only other game that I know that I play that has exploding dice, which I love to play, is Legend of the Five Rings, L5R.
Yeah, and I've never. I made a
It's
character
so
for
long.
L5R, but I never played the game because it fell apart before it even started.
That does suck. I haven't had a lot of playing experience with that one, but I've played about half a campaign, and then we started one. But I enjoyed the exploding dice. I mean, we could take out, a oh god, would it be take out fucking catapult with a single arrow, because it kept exploding. So I was like, best time ever.
So here's a Savage Worlds, just a blank character sheet. I'm gonna roll an agility check now. If you get the highest number on it, why is there another D6 in there? That's weird. I guess you get. No, maybe I don't understand. Oh yeah, no, I know. You get, it's a D6 or your. Yeah, whenever you roll an ability check in Savage Worlds, you get a D6 or the dice you have assigned to it. And I think they both can explode though. So there, I got a 4, and you saw it roll again, and it got a 2, so it gave me a 6. And I've seen you roll like a D4 and get like a 31. It just keeps exploding. So that time the 6 exploded, and it gave me a 4, so I got a 10.
Nice.
So I wonder, yeah, because that I'm still upset about that manual dice thing not working in Fantasy Grounds the other way. I'm going to see if I can turn this on. I'm going to roll a 4, and I'm just going to tell it I'm getting a 4 every time. I'm going to get a 4 and a 6 and see what it does. Yeah, see, that manual dice thing doesn't work right. That's very disappointing. I don't think anybody uses it, but that's probably why it hasn't been reported as not working right. But it doesn't do the continuation stuff. That's kind of bad. Oh, yeah, didn't I just turn that off? Manual, son of a... Mood features. What is going on here? Why is this?
Just revert to basic.
It's because it's not 5e.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I don't
that's
know.
right.
Okay, here we go. So I want to try to see if it'll explode twice.
Where's Boffin when we need him?
Boffin knows how to make dice explode.
Yeah, he's a Savage
Oh,
Worlds.
there we go. That
Oh
exploded
shit!
twice.
Look, there it goes.
So I rolled a
Nice.
6, and it got a 6, so that's 12, and then it rolled a 4 and got a 16. So there you go. But I've seen
Sweet.
people get like in the 30s or even 40s or 50s with exploding dice. So that's
Okay,
pretty
we
cool.
got a question from chat from Optimus Prune. I was looking at Dweger's. I can't say that word. Ability to temporarily.
Do you know what? If you look at it, I'll help you with this for the future. From this point forward, you'll always say it right. Just say it in its 3 parts by looking at how it's spelled. Duergar. Duergar. There you go.
Really? Is that
Just do
how
it.
it's done?
Yeah, Duergar.
Duergar. Ability to temporarily grow to giant size, and had no idea if FG could help incorporate that temporary transformation. Is that something that FG can help handle or just wing it?
Absolutely, it can handle it. Let's do it. Let's even do it in Savage Worlds.
Oh, really?
Let's get a. I can't read any of these damn. I can't read what these say. Maps. Okay, let's do the battle map. Okay, so let's say this is the Duergar right here. Let's say this guy's the Duergar. All I do is I hold control and I mouse wheel my guy, and oh snap, now he's big. Done. Is that what he was asking?
I don't think so. Well, maybe.
Well, I was looking at the Duergar's ability to temporarily grow to giant size, and I had no idea Fantasy Grounds could help incorporate that temporary transformation. Yeah, so he grows to giant, and then when he's not giant anymore, you shrink him back down, and he's in the regular size like that.
Okay.
Does he do more damage or anything, or move it?
Yeah, but that's just a matter of that's just a thing on the you know on the what's it called, the stat block. He has an extra D4 or something, but I mean we can go look at that real quick. I think it's even
Maybe that's what he's thinking of, is the whole stat block.
Well, so Optimus Prune, you got to be more specific about your question then. I think I've answered your question, but if that's not what you meant, then please state what you really meant, and then I'll answer that.
Okay, we do have another question from Drake PD 71. FG, can you add an effect / table to when a character shoots an arrow that it would roll to break or not? Make a parcel and then put the arrow back in inventory. Oh my gosh, that's a lot.
So yes and no. You can roll a table that'll do that for sure, but not that'll put it back in. What is wrong with this thing now?
Did we break it?
Not that it'll
We
put it
broke
back.
it.
You can't make a table that manipulates the inventory on the character sheet. That my friend is one step closer to. I just sit at my computer and I cross my arms and I just think, and then Fantasy Grounds does everything for me. It's not gonna.
Well,
it's
I
not gonna
mean,
happen.
can it make a parcel to where it goes back into party sheet? So that way the character just needs to.
No, the tables will not transfer items anywhere. You have to do that manually. There's no table. The only place it'll transfer anything is to the chat window, to a story entry, to a parcel, or to an encounter, but not to the party sheet or not to a person's character sheet.
So I could put the parcel up and you just have to drag the parcel into the party sheet.
Yeah, it could do that.
But it won't do it automatically, like trigger it based off the number of shots. You'd have to manually put the shots in there.
Okay, so let's look at this Duergar here. And if I put the Duergar in the combat tracker, enlarge. But see, the Duergar's enlarge feature does not give them an extra D4 damage, like most things that get bigger do get. This does not give him that. But if it did,
okay.
it would probably say so on the, like it would probably say something like damage 1d4, like that.
Yeah, I'm going to make myself a bigger target. That doesn't make any sense.
So
Okay, because Optimus does kind of clarify, saying, yes, I was thinking stat block, and I was also coming from the way old days when weapons did different damage against extra large creatures. May not be relevant to 5e.
Okay, so there's an example of what you could do. You could do it to the player character or to the monster. So I just added bracket Oh no, but it's extra. It's extra damage.
So double damage.
No. How do you know how you, like if you're doing Divine Smite, you add a code to yourself that says damage 1d8. You know.
It's like the same code for sneak attack.
Yeah, exactly. So let's see. Whoops. Whoa. Everybody calm down. Nobody panic like I am. Manual entry off. So that's just the damage. Why is the fucking sounds on? God damn it.
Probably because you turned
Sounds
it back
off.
on.
I did. I keep clicking the wrong one. So, you know what I'm talking about? You guys like sneak attack, right?
Yeah.
Why isn't? Oh my god! You got to be kidding me! I don't have that open either. All right, so class. All right, so if I put on, let me just get somebody here. Who's this guy? If I have sneak attack here, and I add it to myself, wait, am I even in? Yeah. Then it gives me the extra damage, right? It gives me the extra damage 1d6 for sneak attack, right there, like that. So you can do that to monsters too. But if I put the sneak attack on the monster, how does it code it? Wait a minute. What? Oh yeah, because duh. Oh, that's self. Yeah, I can't. Oh, I know what I'm doing. Okay, yeah, got it. You got to add it down here. So you can go damage colon 1d4. Okay, so now the Duergar is enlarged. So let's just do an attack with him. And it should give him an extra d4. So I'm going to do his war pick attack, which is 1d8 plus 2. So we should see a d8 and a d4 here. And it didn't work. Oh, because it's in brackets and it's not supposed to be in brackets. Okay, let's try that again. Everybody relax. I know what I'm doing. There we go. So that's how you do it. So you would just add an effect. I did it up here, which is not where I should have done it. I should have done it down here without brackets. So it's the same thing. If you add sneak attack to a player character, it says DMG colon 1d6 piercing. You could just do the same thing. If a Duergar gets larger, and when he's larger, he does extra damage, which in the case of a 5e, he doesn't. But if you wanted to make it that way, you could just add it like that. There you go. What other questions does anybody have? I know everything. It takes me 10 minutes to get there, but I know everything.
I was just going to ask, what's the point of getting larger then?
Well, there's a lot of stuff like I have a power that does so-and-so to a creature who's medium or smaller, that kind of thing. There's many reasons why you'd want to get larger.
I just think he becomes a bigger target, and that's it. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
I think his AC would drop or something.
Yeah.
It doubles. Oh, it says it doubles its damage on strength-based weapon attacks. That's what it does. So it doesn't even do that. Yeah, and I think. Yeah. So and it has that coded, right? So it's normally 1d8, but here it's 2d8 if it's enlarged. The javelin is 1d6. Here it's 2d6. So they've got that coded in there. But he was asking about the. I'm sure he was. Well, I made an assumption that's what he meant, because I think in the monster manual it says something about any creature that gets larger, unless it otherwise states what he gets. Like in this case, he gets double damage, but you get an extra d4, I think. That's what the enlarge spell does for player characters, right?
Yeah. Validate says, I think the intimidation skill should increase with size.
Write your local congressman. That's what you think.
Give him advantage if you have to.
So, any other questions, anybody? Anybody got any other questions? Breuer, you need to shut the fuck up. You talk too much.
Yeah, man.
I'm just kidding. Is he even still there? Did he leave?
Here,
No, he's
Breuer?
here. Yeah, he's here.
He's just really quiet. He might have fallen asleep on us.
He might have fallen asleep.
We were kind of boring.
Oh, and by the way, Brewer, if you are there and you're trying to talk, then you don't push a talk or whatever. We can't hear you.
No, I'm here.
There you go. All right.
I'm here.
Here's a question.
Yeah, okay, go for it.
Drake PD 71. He wants to know, how much do coins weigh?
Actually, there's a thing for that. Coins weigh 10 per pound. Is it? There is an answer to that.
Really? That's
Yeah.
God.
There's an answer. It's so much that when you get big treasure parcels, if your DM was an ass, you'd never be able to take the treasure.
I would be that asshole if I DM.
It might be 50 per pound, but it's something that's ridiculous.
That's why we have Tensor's floating disc. That spell was all about,
and
man.
Bag of all holding. What's it called? It's not called bag of all holding.
It'd be bag of all holding. Bag of holding.
Bag of holding. Yeah. Let's see how much do coins weigh? It might be 50 per pound in 5e. I'll say. Let's see if we can get that here. Coins, the open idea.
I'm going to enlarge so I can carry double the amount of gold out of here.
50 coins weigh 1 pound, it says here. Yeah.
Okay.
So it's 50, not 10. But yeah, so when you find 1,000 silver, that's 20. I mean, or 1,000 copper, it's not worth it. Because all the coins weigh the same, right? A platinum weighs the same as a gold, as a copper, as a silver, as a Fury's favorite electrum.
Electrum.
So there you go. 1/3 of an ounce, 50 per pound. There you go. Page 143 in the player's handbook says red lucidity. Red lucidity. How do you say it? red lucidity. There we go. Thank you. Yeah, a lot of DMs do what Drake is saying. They change the money to gems. Like you find 50,000 gold, or you find a diamond worth 50,000. So they can carry it. But I like the idea of the characters find they defeat a dragon, and there's like 5 million gold in there, and so you got to get some donkeys and some shit and go and try not to get robbed on your way back to town.
Yeah, that's its own quest right there.
Kickstarter, everybody, what's up? Rob Tui's got a Kickstarter. Let's put that in the chat. Why not?
Yeah, I understand, Drake, but it's not. You can do it manually. That's how you'd have to do it.
Yeah. That is a very good question, Drake. Because if the coins do weigh, why is that weight not included into the encumbrance?
Yeah.
Because, like Rob said, DMs don't want to be the dicks. Say, here's all this money, but you can't spend it because you can't carry it. And because banking systems aren't very reliable in fantasy worlds. What do you do? Like write a check, have your credit card?
Yeah, but smelted down to a gold bar.
Yeah, but still, I mean, that's very expensive.
Yeah.
Ooh, it doesn't include that in the encumbrance, does it?
Nope.
But
an option. Trade notes, yes. But then again, people would be like, well, it could be forged, it could be fake.
I guess what you would do is if you wanted to include it,
make an item with the number of coins.
You would add it. You would say coins, and then you would say, I have 50 coins, so I have, 1 pound of coins or whatever. Or I have now you're doing maths with an S.
So 0.03, and then if you put 50 in the number.
Well, no, it's 1/3 of an ounce, and 0.3 pounds is what you're saying. So you'd have 1/3 of an ounce would be, so 16 would be 48. So what's 1
just put
divided by
0.01. Just make it simple for everybody.
But it would be
0.01.
It would be way off. Here, let me actually figure out that's the other thing, is how far out does Fantasy Grounds calculate that number to be?
Quick, somebody do the math for us. We're not We're not math people anymore.
1 divided by 48 is 0.02. So let's just say 0.02.
Yeah.
Whoops. 0.02.
Rob
Okay,
Tui
so-
coin code effects.
Right?
Yeah, that's a good idea.
So if
Drake said he'll commission it.
if I have 1,000, if you're going to commission it, let's talk $50. If I have 1,000, then yeah, I had 9 pounds, so now I have 29 pounds. So there you go. That works. So if your DM says, oh, you find 1,000,000 coins, 1,000,000. So too bad, because it weighs 20,000 pounds. Maybe if you drop your backpack, you'll be okay. But
So
yeah,
that list, the coin thing that you made in equipment, in the description, you can just put the formula in there. You know, like you showed in the wherever.
Oh, you know what I'm
DM's
going to
guide.
do? Here, this is easy. It's already, I don't have to do anything. In equipment, yeah. Isn't this what you just said, Leroon? Am I about to repeat what you just said? Because I was so excited I wasn't listening to you.
Yep.
Yeah, you just put coins and then 0.02, and there you go. It's done. So in equipment list, I guess I would put that under
Miscellaneous.
Well, yeah, there is no miscellaneous though. Everything's got it's adventure gear, I guess.
And then in the description of the item, you can actually put that formula that you showed us earlier in text, so that people go, oh, they don't argue about it. You know, so you have the formula from the player's handbook or wherever it is.
Yeah, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna go do that right now. I'm gonna do it on the show.
Link that page.
Let's see, campaigns. That's gonna be in the archives. That's gonna be under equipment. Adventuring gear. What makes the most sense? Wondrous items, no. Adventuring gear.
Yep.
But that's magical.
No, adventure gear is not magical. Isn't that the normal shit, like a rope, a bedroll, flask?
It's the normal stuff that has code. So rope, there is no rope because rope doesn't have a code. But
Maybe
let's just bring that in and see what we get here. Let's just bring it in and see what we get here. A little behind the scenes, Rob Tui, DM's Guild, making stuff, updating stuff. People say shit in the chat. I can't not do it. I got to do it right away. So that's called Build Fantasy Grounds Adventuring Gear. All right, let's get in it. Let's get in and see what we get. You might be right, Fury. There might be mundane items in there that I just don't remember. Like what's it called? Antitoxin and whatever else might have codes in it.
A potion of healing.
My Fantasy Grounds table, that's in potions. My Fantasy Grounds table takes forever to load because I have a lot of modules in there. All right, let's see what we got. Export. Let's go to items. Not items, spells, right? Okay. Let's make one. Yeah. Okay, let's make one. And let's call it item. Well, now, wait a minute. Wait. No. This isn't a code. This is an actual item. So this should maybe be in background gear or something like that. Yeah, Yeah, that's the wrong one. Okay. All right. Everybody tried to talk me out of it. I succumbed to peer pressure too easy, you guys. I have a liver transplant 4 years ago. You guys could probably get me to drink alcohol if you tried hard enough.
No.
Okay, so what I really meant to say was not that, but is it a trinket or is it a background item? What do you think? It's not a background
item. Make it a background item, but it's not. Yeah, maybe make a new category.
It's a trinket. Or I could put it in like I have. I'm just trying to think of the best. You're not going to make a whole nother thing just for that. That's just ridiculous. I'm going to put it in trinkets. That makes the most sense to me. Plus, I think trinkets might even be the one that's really cheap or free, or I don't know. All right, let's try that again. Open Fantasy Grounds. why did I have to close Fantasy Grounds and reopen it? Why? Does anybody know why?
Because we
show up?
made,
Because why?
you
made
changed
it
with the
change it?
folders, the directories.
Exactly. Some people
So I
don't
had to
realize that.
refresh.
Yeah, Fantasy Grounds only recognizes what you had in the directories when the first time you opened it. So if you move something, because I have 9,000 things and they're not all just in one folder, otherwise it would literally take 10 minutes to open Fantasy Grounds.
I'm there.
I'm
You gotta
not.
move some stuff out. Move some coin purse.
I have
What
to.
is it? Drake says coin purse. All right, so now let's go into items. Items. Okay.
Let's call it coin encumbrance.
Well, why not just coins?
Because I don't tell you anything.
I don't know. I kind of like the coin purse. Like how heavy is your coin purse?
There, now no one can be mad at me. All right. Type adventuring gear. Weight 0.02. Well, it's actually no, it's not a coin purse. It's coins.
Yep.
Because you're going to put the coin purse would just be 1. You're putting the amount of coins.
Correct. So
there
coins
you go.
encumbrance.
This is the weight of all coins added together for the character. That seems pretty explanatory to me.
Yep.
All right,
fix
this
that.
I have what's called second letter capitalization disease. I have that. This is the weight of the coins added together for the character. Bam. All right.
Because then the coin purse can actually become a weapon if you have it heavy enough.
Right. 1d4 per pound. I don't know. All right, now we're gonna export it.
Does that mean that we're gonna have to re-download our?
Yep.
Yes,
our
if you have the
modules?
trinkets, you got to re-download it, but not until I upload it.
Okay, I'll wait.
It hasn't happened yet. All right, let's export that. Boom. All right, save it. Close this. Now let's go to Fantasy Grounds modules. Fantasy Grounds modules should be the top one. Boom, trinkets. Copy it. Go over here to my organization. Let's see, that's in 18. No. Yes, it is. No. Everybody calm down. Oh, that's not in anything yet. Okay, so all projects should be trinkets. Yeah, because I don't have a package for 2018 yet, so it's just by itself. All right, let's go to the DM's Guild. Let's go, everybody. How does Rob do it? What does Rob do? What is it that Rob does? He uploads crap. So, upload, update file. We're going to go right here to the giant list and type in trinkets. Right there, boom. We're going to find the trinkets and erase it. Now we're going to upload the new one. Trinkets.
Just start searching for that name.
And then upload it. All right. And am I done? No, I'm not, because I have to go to my Discord. And I have to go to DM's Guild updates, and I have to say trinkets. Is trinkets listed anywhere in there? I don't think so.
Nope.
All right, so we're going to go and add it to the 3 other things I updated today. 7 July 2018. Not 2018, just 18. And then, you know what, I'm lazy, so I'm going to go over here. And what the hell is the name of that thing again? Fantasy Grounds 5e trinkets table with items. I'm going to copy it. Put it in here. Boom, done. All right, so now people know, hey, he updated the trinkets, and then they can go get it. That's how you do it. Inside the back end, everybody. Well, I mean, let me rephrase. That was behind the scenes. That was not inside the back end. That's not what I meant to say. All right, now let's check the sales for today because I always report it to the people, so I might as well show it to the people. Sales for today, because this is the end of the show, everybody. The end of the show was, Brewer's like, the end of the show was a half hour ago. What's going on? Why am I still here? Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8. 8's not very good.
$8 or 8 items?
No, no,
$8 items.
$32, but eight items, yeah. Coding package, bam.
Nice.
A small problem. Conditions and effects, very popular.
So speaking of bullshit things, how was the session last night?
Oh, it was pretty good. I gave away a couple prizes, and we talked about stuff.
You got a lot of watchers.
Yeah, I did. I had 38 watchers, and people care more about an informal. I mean, these Sunday night shows are kind of informal. I mean, we are covering a subject and trying to impart information and answer people's questions. But yeah, it was just about, like, we talked about, I don't know, movies and other stuff. So it was fun.
That's cool. So I have a standard license kind of clogging up my Steam inventory. And I was wondering if we could give that away. If anybody wants a standard license from the Steam store.
Oh.
Certainly can. Let's close, reset. Let's give away a standard license.
Keyword clog.
Clean word spring cleaning or summer cleaning, I guess.
How is it that you have a standard license that you're not using?
I had bought a 4-pack of standard licenses. I used one and then I gave 2 away and then I just had one.
All right. So this would be, I gave my big speech about don't enter if you're not winning and whatever, but this would be something that you could forward to a friend, or if you have a license but you know a buddy that wants one, or your son or daughter or your niece or nephew, whatever, somebody needs a Fantasy Grounds license, then yeah, absolutely, let's do this. So the keyword, everybody, is Furied, F-U-R-I-E-D, with an exclamation in front of it. We'll start a 5-minute counter and we'll watch it. We'll see people enter. This is for a standard Fantasy Grounds license for you and or a loved one, or a personal friend or an acquaintance.
Or just somebody you want to get on the table.
Really crazy, you could just give it away to a homeless person and tell them, get a laptop.
Oh, God. Well, there's internet cafes.
There is,
do that
yeah,
too.
That's true. That's true. So good. So people are entering, so that's nice. So
that's still a thing.
Internet cafes?
Yeah, they're not so much in the United States, but they're a big thing overseas.
And remember, Fantasy Grounds is global. It's not just U.S. based.
That's right. Lady Show followed.
I haven't heard that since the late 90s.
What, internet cafes?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, the big thing now is cat cafes. Everybody wants to be in a cafe with a cat.
Now, when you say everybody.
Everybody.
Not me.
Yes, you do.
Oh, there was my phone number. Everybody just could, if you saw my phone number there, you could call me.
Drake said, I'm going to make a table and roll on it, and it's going to have my friend's name on it to give it away.
See? Extra win for Drake right there. All right. 1d4.
1d4.
1d4 minus 3.
1d4 friends.
1d4 friends. True story.
-1.
Dialing. Lady Shell. Dialing. Lady Shell's dialing my phone number right now. I would laugh so hard if my phone rang. Furied will eventually end up with my phone number because everybody that goes to Denver and Dragons gets each other's phone numbers.
Well, now it's going to have to be Wizards and Whistler.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's right. Yeah, here I was popping off about not changing the name of it today, and then I was the one who came up with Whistlers and Wizards.
Wizards of Whistler.
Wizards, no. Well, Dungeons and Dragons, Denver and Dragons, so it's got to be Whistler and Wizards.
Cool.
So I'm gonna go in there and type that in the chat room right now. Okay.
And what Rob is
Whistler.
referring to, there's going to be a little meetup with some of the Fantasy Grounds players, and we're all going to be meeting up in Whistler, Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada, people.
Whistler and Wizards 3, I think is what we'll say it is. All right. I'm going to go answer this Ranavan, but I'm not going to do it because I don't want to show his email. So next week's show is DMing on the fly.
Just switch to the slide.
Yeah, I could do that. We're DMing on the fly when players go off the rail, and our special guest is going to be Digital Dave, and I'm going to actually send him a reminder right now. Digital Dave. Digital David. Digital David. I don't never know what he spells in here. God damn. It's the Digital DM, maybe the... There he is. The Digital Dungeon Master. Dave.
Wow, I didn't think about that, Drake, until you just wrote that in the chat.
Reminder for next week. Sunday show. We'll get together. Fury, are you on Central?
Yes, I am.
And so he is too, right? Isn't all of Texas
No.
is Central, is it not?
No, David's in a mountain.
Oh, David's Mountain. Okay. Just thank you, Breuer. Dave, just a reminder for Central. The word Central appears nowhere in my sentence, but I said it out loud anyway. Get together 6:45 Mountain Time. Bam, and then he'll be like, "What? What show is that?" And he won't remember. Hence the message. What did Drake say in the chat? Oh, W and W3. There you go. That's good. I like that too. Let's go back over there and change that. Is the counter run down yet? Is it run out? I don't think so. I think it's got 30 seconds left.
Those two. Yeah, it says
I was close. I was 10 seconds off. I was 11 seconds off, actually. All right, let's go back to Denver and Dragons chat. Private chat. Nobody can get in. Denver and Dragons. Special people. W and W. W and W3. Because it looks like World War II, that's why. All right, let's find out who won. Who won the standard license? The winner is... Validate.
Validate.
No, Validate. So Validate, you're on Discord. Send me your Steam ID. Is that what we need?
Yeah, I think so.
So yeah, send me your Steam ID, and then Furied will scoot that right over to you for your son. There you go. Very good.
Oh, it's gonna be a father-son duo.
It's a father-son thing. I don't know anything about that. Congrats to you. And congrats to the other prize winner previously, which was like an hour ago. All right, we did a 2-hour show again, you guys. Brewer's like, oh man, never again. Hey, Breuer, thanks for being here, though. Appreciate that. I always like to have a guest to
enjoyed it.
Abuse instead of just the
all that table talk blew my mind.
Yeah, it blows
a lot of information.
It is. And so this video, you guys, will be on YouTube. So if you missed anything or if you want to watch it again for some of that table info and then wade through all the other crap that we have. Our shows are anywhere from an hour to 2 hours, and it's like 15 minutes of good information in there somewhere. That's how we do it. So good. So yeah, let's go to the slides, as a matter of fact.
Let's talk about what's next.
What's next? So this just happened. All Things Fantasy Grounds. Episode 31 in the books. Tomorrow, Module Question Monday, I'll be working on the third solo adventure, which I'm, 60% of the way through. 2-hour Tuesdays, that's a big day. I got to write some stuff before Tuesday. Damn, what day is it? Oh my God, it just comes up so fast. Wednesday, of course, is the Tales from the Yawning Portal game against the Giants. And then Thursday is a secret thing that we can't talk about. and then it's not going to be streamed anyway. And then Friday is Joe Adventures, and then Saturday is Roundtable with me, where anybody can drop by. You guys can all drop by and talk to me in the chat, and come on in and do voice in my Discord, whatever you want. We just bullshit about anything, and then right back to Sunday again. Matter of fact, let me go make the slide for Sunday, since we're here. Next Sunday is, what are we going to call that? Going Off the Rails? What do we call that show?
I like that, going off the rails.
Players Going Off the Rails. Yeah, let's call it that. So let me open up, change the, see, all things Fantasy Grounds. It's right here.
Yeah, speaking about Drake, because you mentioned cons in Spokane, Rob is going to a convention where he is doing like what, 5 panels, 6 panels. You're doing the whole.
Yeah, I'm doing
convention?
5 panels in. I don't know how this happened to me, but somehow I got on these panels. You know, I how it happened was, it's Spokane. It's in Spokane. It's August 10th, 11th, and 12th. I asked them, can I come by and talk about Fantasy Grounds? And they were like, yeah, we'd love that, please. And then I mentioned it to Doug, and he goes, yeah, you can't do that. And I'm like, what? And he goes, only John and I can do that. Nobody else can do it. There's only 2 representatives from the company that do it. And it's him and me, and you can't do it. And I said, okay. So I'm not going to talk about, I mean, I'll talk about it, but I'm not going to be there in an official capacity showing slides or anything like that. But because they were so excited about me coming to do that, and I emailed the lady and said, hey, I can't do that. I didn't know I couldn't, but I can't. And then they said, well, why don't you come by and do all this other stuff? And I said, okay, fine. So they somehow think I'm somebody who needs to be talking on a panel, but it'll be fun.
Not just 1, 5.
Yeah, 5. And then CJ, the guy that plays the Wednesday night game and the Friday night game, you guys know CJ on the stream. He lives here in town with me, so he's going to be my +1. So we're going to go get him in free too.
Nice.
Players Go Off the Rail. I could have spelled it with 3 F's.
Okay.
Going Off the Rail.
So Red Lucidity asked, when is this show going to be reposted? Basically, right after we wrap up here, he's going to put it right on YouTube.
Yeah, it'll probably take an hour.
A couple hours, yeah.
Yeah, it just depends on how long. The longer the video is, the longer it takes to process. But now, yeah, there we go. Episode 32, Players Going Off the Rail, right there.
But if you subscribe to Rob's YouTube channel, it will give you the alert when the new episode comes up. So a reason to subscribe.
If you subscribe to the channel, you can rewatch it immediately, because it'll be in the already done videos. It'll take like maybe less than a minute. But yeah, and I don't, somebody asked me about that once, just so you guys know. I make it so that you have to subscribe to the channel to watch the old videos on Twitch. But the reason I do that, I'm not trying to make extra money or be a dick or anything, although it's really easy for me to be a dick. But the reason I do that is I want my YouTube subscribers up, so I try to make it so people will go, oh, I don't want to subscribe, I'll just go to YouTube and watch it for free. So that's why I do that, is to try to encourage people to go to YouTube, because I still have 802 subscribers, so I need 198 more subscribers. So everybody call your 10 closest friends and go subscribe to my YouTube channel. Boom. All right. Any other questions before we actually end the stream? I'm going to end it.
Nope.
We got all the ones in the chats?
So. YouTube or Twitch?
No, YouTube. I need people to subscribe to my YouTube channel, because they about a few months ago, about the beginning of the year, February maybe, they changed it so that you have to have 1,000 subscribers or more to even be considered for revenue or anything. Remember that lady went into Google in California and shot everybody up because of that? Remember? You guys didn't hear that?
Took away her livelihood.
Yeah, they took away, and she didn't. And what was funny was she didn't. I think she already had 1,000 subscribers, but she was just really mad for some reason. But yeah. So I think I have 802. It's hard to get subscribers with D&D gameplay. If I did more like commentary and reviews of books and complained about WotC or did controversial stuff, I'd get a lot more followers. But gameplay, it's hard to get followers. Only the most dedicated and smart people that are here now watching in the chat, only those kind of people subscribe. Cool.
Yeah.
Lady Shell, thanks for the sub. All right, guys, we're going to wrap it up. Thanks for watching. The video will be on YouTube here in about an hour or so. Be sure and tune in for the rest of the week for every day. Just come back every day. Fury's here every day. Layron's here every day. Breuer will never be back again, ever, forever. He's never coming back. No, but thanks again, Breuer, for coming by. Maybe I'll see you one day, because Dave keeps trying to talk about getting people together in El Paso, so might actually meet you face to face one day.
And then we'll have to come up with another name for the El Paso meetup.
Yeah, it'll be EPRP or something like that, whatever it is. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. Hope to see you back here again next time. And until then, good gaming, everyone.